Michael Bay, director of Hollywood hits such as Transformers, and I demand things to be awesome.
Michael Bay, director, madman, adrenaline junkie, awesome. There are many opinions of him. You might say he's a bit like Marmite. You either love him or hate him. You may be familiar with his work, or maybe not. Let's see what he's famous for and what has given our critics a divided opinion. Michael Bay is an American filmmaker and director. He was born in LA, however, this is not important. His filmmaking career began when he was 15, when he was an intern for George Lucas. As an intern, he worked on the film Raiders of the Lost Ark, which he thought was terrible. He was so surprised and impressed by its success, he was instantly inspired to become a director. Since then, he has made many blockbusters, including the World War II thriller Pearl Harbor. Let's see what some of his co-workers think of his directing style.
Yeah, it was hard work. It's a big crew and it's very difficult. What I like about him is that he doesn't have a list of shots that he's got planned.
I want you to kind of do that as the cops are just getting in. Okay.
I always like working with those directors the best because it's kind of organic, you know. Because with Michael, you really don't know what's coming next, and that I think it's quite exciting.
And that was one of his actors. Now let's hear from one of his editors.
Nobody brings that kind of action, stronger and visually cool than Michael Bay. We couldn't have asked for a better combination of bombast and slick-looking cars with our help from Michael.
And finally, the king of blockbusters and director of films such as E.T., Jurassic Park and Saving Private Ryan, Steven Spielberg.
I like to give him credit personally for his storytelling skills and his sense of humor about the human comedy. He's just great about finding a very serious moment and just diffusing it with just enough comedy that kind of sort of offsets the spectacle.
Excuse me, are you the tooth fairy?
As you can see, the people who have worked with Bay believe he is awesome. But who knows, they may just have a biased opinion. So what do you think?
Yeah, I have actually. I think he's really awesome. I'm actually a bit of a fan of his.
Yeah, I have. I think he's really, really good.
Yeah, I've heard of Michael Bay. He's one of my favourite directors. So, I've seen quite a few of his films.
I've seen Bad Boys, Transformers as well.
Pearl Harbor, Armageddon.
Transformers. I've seen Armageddon and Pearl Harbor.
I think his use of car chases and fast-paced action sequences are really, really good, and his use of CGI as well. I think he uses that really, really well.
Michael Bay sort of uses a lot more sort of fast action-paced scenes, and sort of he really gets into the scene and makes the viewer feel like part of the action.
Yeah, I really like the sort of fast-paced editing style he used. I was a big fan of that actually. I thought it really added to the films.
Like you can interact, especially with his newer films where he's starting to integrate 3D as well. He's able to sort of make you feel like you can just reach out and touch like the characters on screen, and he's sort of like pushing the boundaries even more with like his more later films. He's been using like a lot more things, like use wingsuits and things to get sort of flying shots, and he gets a lot more stuff from helicopters and from points of views from the cars and things like that, where he can sort of experiment a bit more, and he pushed the boundaries of every film that he does. So
I do think he's awesome. Yes I do.
Yeah, I'd say he's pretty awesome.
Michael Bay is very awesome.
Michael Bay is recognised as an auteur of action movies and has made action epics such as the Transformers series, which I am watching now. Bay is often criticised for his directing style, although most of these criticisms come from professionals. Let's have a look at some critic views of his work.
Well, I actually really despise Michael Bay. I think he really epitomises everything I dislike about Hollywood industry and about high concept cinema.
He's not my particular preference. I think he's quite well known for big budget action special effects, loud, fast-moving action sort of thrillers.
The one thing that I would uniquely identify with Michael Bay, apart from the large production value, would be that his editing technique is very uniquely his style. Is for people with attention deficit disorder. I think you'll find that very rarely will he last on a shot for longer than 3 seconds.
It's not really character-driven or plot-driven kind of films that I'm usually more interested in watching. Although you can't deny that it's pretty spectacular. And the special effects, not that I've seen Transformers, but the special effects that I've seen on the trailers are pretty incredible in terms of CGI, and I know that he is cutting edge in that respect.
I once read an interview where he said that to decide how long a shot should be, he throws his American football, and however long that's in the air for before the person catches it is how long the shot would be.
How different is he to someone like James Cameron?
Which for me sounds like a completely idiotic and infantile way of editing.
It's just that ultimately I don't really engage with these characters, and I just think it's kind of cinematically, I think he's probably just throwing money at a situation and hoping that special effects will bring in the punters.
Harsh words there from our experts, but they're just opinions. Let's take a look at the stats to see whether these opinions are truly important to the judgment of Bay's success. The first film we look at is Bad Boys 2. It came in just shy of top 10 in its year at 11th place, highest grossing. The Rock, starring Sean Connery, and The Great Pearl Harbor, starring Ben Affleck, both came in 7th in their years. The special effects phenomenon from Bay and the first in the series of Transformers came in the top 3 in 2007. Armageddon and Transformers 2 and 3 came in 2nd place in their years, falling shy to 1st place to films such as Saving Private Ryan, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 and Avatar. That is truly awesome. So, does this make Bay awesome? The statistics say he is, the critics say he isn't. But who is right? We'll let you, his loyal fans, decide whether Bay is truly
awesome.
Well, that concludes that Michael Bay is awesome.